Hi, I'm Dustin.
And I'm Steve. Welcome back, listeners, to the finest phototainment in the world. That's right, you're listening to another episode of the Wedding Photo Hangover podcast, an irreverent look at wedding photography. This podcast, like aspirin, will help you recover from your wedding hangover. And Dustin, can I just tell you, I'm so incredibly excited to talk to our next guests. Sarah Casile and McGreevy are two wedding photographers out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They make a Facebook Live video show and podcast called I Don't Give an F Stop with Sarah's husband, Carey Casile. So without further ado, Dustin,
let's turn it over.
We got the whole cast on. Sarah Casile, Megan. Oh my gosh, why did my notes just... Where did your last name go? Where did your last
McGreevy.
name go? McGreevy.
McGreevy.
Yeah.
McGreevy.
I was going to say Megan McGee from Snapchat, but wow.
I like that. That's better. That sounds way better.
Megan McGee, the Snapchat queen, and Carey Casile.
Hey there, this is Carey talking. How's everyone doing?
We're doing great, Carey. So glad to have you on. Sarah, are you there too?
Good. Hey, I'm here. Hey, Sarah Casile here. This is me. We're very excited to be on your podcast tonight. Thanks for inviting us.
You don't have to blow smoke up our asses already.
Too late.
I'm really good at it. I mean, if you want me to.
Jeez.
Okay, so sorry.
So funny.
And also the last host from the I Don't Give an F Stop podcast.
Hi, this is Megan. I'm also super excited to be a part of your guys' podcast. So thank you for having us.
We're all just blowing smoke off our asses, Dustin. This is great. We got to have more guests on like this.
Always.
So Dustin and we're super pumped to have you guys on because we really love your podcast. I think I probably told you a few minutes ago, right before we started, I feel like we found like the sister podcast to our own podcast, meaning a podcast where people drink and talk about wedding photography and sometimes go on rants about stuff they saw on Facebook and stuff.
It's amazing.
That needs to be like the regular. That needs to be the baseline. For photographers, I feel like.
I love it. It's perfect.
You guys started your podcast last year. What was like the thing that caused you, the impetus to get you guys going with this?
I like to talk a lot. So
Sarah fucking loves to talk.
I felt like I had a lot to say. Yeah. So I was like, this is the lifestyle. This is the glamour and the glitz. Let's talk about it. And I felt like we had a lot to share.
It's like getting all of her talking out. It's really good. It's good for Sarah.
Therapeutic.
It is very good.
Sarah, was there any defining moment that you said like, oh, I want to start a podcast?
Were you listening to a podcast and you're like, I'm going to have a podcast?
Did I make you start a podcast? I don't remember.
I think Carey kind of like nudged me. He's like, hey, we should start a podcast. If you want.
Did it start with like ASMR? You're like, I like ASMR. And you're like, I'm going to have a podcast.
I don't think her ASMR channel and podcasting are related.
I have microphones, so I thought maybe they were related.
No, I just really like photography, and I kind of mentor a little bit, and I felt like we had stuff to share every now and then, and it's fun. It's like a creative outlet when I feel like my job is so much my job, where this is just more fun.
It is fun.
This is just like,
and you
just get to bullshit about photography.
Oh my God, and there's so much fucking shit to talk about. Sorry.
For what?
Swear, I feel like Carey just with his eyeballs.
Hey, I'm not calling the shots today. They're calling the shots.
There's just so much to talk about. Like, I feel like more than 50% is complaining about photography than actual photography. But that's just me. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, we are essentially the water cooler talk of wedding photography podcast.
That's
is how
so
we like
smart.
to kind of think of ourselves.
That's cute.
And when I listened to your podcast, I felt like Steve said earlier, you were kind of the yin to our yang. If we had
I like that.
Guys' locker room and girls' locker room, you were perhaps, on the other side of the wall.
Wow.
I like that. Wow.
Looking in.
That was deep.
What role does Carey play in the girls' locker room?
I'm the coach.
It's like the girls' basketball coach.
That's me.
Pervert. Making sure everyone stays in line.
He runs the courts.
Runs the courts.
He sets up all the electronics.
He does. He's the wire guy.
Yeah.
Chief Technology Officer is.
I'm making him a t-shirt that says "No hands on the table."
I like to think that I bring a little bit more to the podcast
You
than
do.
just the
Oh
chords.
my god! I just like to make fun of you. It's
He's
like my
got
favorite
this
thing.
calming personality.
Well, thank you.
He does.
It sounds like from earlier, if Carey hadn't been there, maybe the podcast would have all just been like this the whole time. And you guys would have just like had like a lot of really cool stuff to say.
It probably
You know what? It would.
I also would have sat like 5 feet back.
He's our specific guy.
Thank you.
He likes everything a specific way.
That is a term of endearment I have never heard before.
My mouth would never be this close to a microphone if Carey wasn't
Exactly.
here because this is.
That was 6 months of training to get Megan
It
this far.
took me like 6 podcast episodes to be able to have my face close enough
Instead
to the
of
microphone.
leaned back in your chair just yelling into the air.
I've never had to do this before.
But now when you guys go to karaoke night, you're probably so much better.
Hey, can I tell you guys something? I actually have a karaoke nickname, and it's Karaoke.
I'm fucking done.
You
Well
were
played,
born
sir.
for that.
Someone actually gave me that nickname. Like the DJ said it. I kind of stole it from there.
Do you karaoke a lot, Carey?
I used to.
Never.
I used to in college.
Oh my god, why don't you ever go to Bob's Garage karaoke nights on Wednesdays?
Where I lived my senior year of college, there was a bar right next door, and we would always go there at the end of the night and do karaoke.
How many years ago was that? 13?
Come on, don't be rude.
Okay.
It was probably like 12 years.
Jeez. That 1 year is so much.
I still have the same beautiful vocal cords of a bad singer.
You know, speaking of going to bars and drinking, we're really pleased this week that Sarah and Megan, you guys are both drinking, right? What are you guys drinking tonight?
We have this White Claw black cherry drink. Also, this giant thing of Svedka.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
I like how you
Right
say
here,
Svedka.
Svedka, that's how you say it.
Yeah.
This episode of brought to you by Svedka.
How do you say it? How do you say
No,
it?
That's fine.
You could have added some type of accent to it. Like
Don't get us
Svedka.
started.
Steven, what are you drinking over there?
What am I drinking? I'm drinking a Taxman Coffee Vanilla Qualified Belgian style quadruple ale.
Ooh, that is a mouthful.
That's what she says.
And he's got some fat tire on him.
That's what my wife calls me. Yep. I mean, that's what I'm drinking tonight. Yep.
My dad calls it flat tire because he's not hip.
So, one thing I have noticed listening to you guys' podcast, Carey doesn't ever drink. Does Carey just not drink anymore?
This is a great conversation starter.
I would love to have this conversation
Yeah.
with him.
You said nothing was off limits.
Yeah, I drank when I was in college, and it was fun. And then
Then he decided to not have any more fun with his wife ever again.
Wow.
well, actually, what I was going to say was that now my hangovers last 2 to 3 days.
Okay, when was the last time you drank so that you're like, okay, my hangovers last 2 to 3 days, but when was the last time you actually drank?
Our honeymoon.
Oh my fucking god.
So, like now, if I take a
That was like
shot,
10 years ago, guys.
Actually, you know what? At the beach 2 years ago, I
He
had
took
a
one shot.
And were you like, I'm so hungover?
Yeah,
I wasn't
he did.
happy about
No,
it.
he did say the next day, I'm so tired.
No, it's just
And
that.
Sarah was probably like, oh, baby, what do you need? And I would have been like, fuck you.
All right, so
Suck it up.
1, alcohol doesn't taste good, and 2, that if I have like a shot to my mouth, I just like flash forward into the future and see like me being like miserable. So I don't drink.
We all get miserable. We're fine.
Basically carries a baby.
Come on, I'm still a lot of fun.
You are a lot of
It's a lot
fun.
of fun.
Wow. I did not know there were so many feelings around this. I just assumed he'd be like, well, I just decided it's a personal decision for me. And, Megan and Sarah would be like, yeah, we respect that. But
I'm not. I'm
No,
like,
I don't respect
No,
that.
the true
stop being a
answer
pussy.
is-
Just drink a drink.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
The true answer is I'm just afraid of hangovers. That's
Big
the
baby,
short
that's all.
answer.
he's afraid of hangovers and we just make fun of him. But he's a really good sport about it. Like, he's really nice.
Thank you.
It's just the Megan Sarah sort of bond. I wanted to kind of get to the nuts and bolts of that relationship if we could.
Oh, it's so good. It's a long story too.
From listening to your podcast, it sounds like, obviously, I looked at both of your websites. You're both amazing photographers, like super talented.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But then it sounds like you talk about as if like you shoot together all the time. So I was trying to understand, it's like you each have your own business, but then do you shoot weddings together, or like how does that kind of work play out? Walk me through that.
Do you want to start, Sarah, and then let me know when you're done?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I just
That's
need
our
to know
whole
when you're
life,
done.
actually.
That's it right there. You start and let me know when you're done.
So we do most of our weddings together. Megan is my right-hand person. She does all of them. I trust her the most with all of my weddings, and I'd trust her even if I wasn't there. So I try to shoot all of my weddings with Megan, but we do have separate businesses. So we mostly just shoot our weddings together if we can. There are a lot of instances that we can't.
If we book like the same date.
Yeah, if we book the same date. But then we plan styled shoots together, and we travel together, and we basically, I would say, do like 80% of all of our stuff together.
Are you done now?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want to talk over you. I think that's a really good way to say it. I also think it's because you have to find somebody that, like, Sarah's real good at it. I don't know what it's called, when you can like just say stuff and Sarah never gets like mad at you. Sarah's so nice. No, but it's like having somebody that, like, I have had second shooters before and my mind is like baffled by the way that they photograph weddings. And Sarah's the only person I can find that like photographs weddings like I do without me having to worry. And she can just do it. Like I don't have to tell her anything. Like
that's true with you too.
I don't like, I can be like, hey, other than like scheduling, like, hey, go with the guys now, or can you go grab this now? Like, I don't have to say like, I need you to photograph this specific photo. I need you to not forget this. Like, I never, ever have to remind her because she just gets all the stuff that I need to get, which is so nice. So
you don't have to be like, Sarah, bring me a fucking water.
No.
No.
And I'll get Sarah water.
But I would.
But she would.
But I would. I would be like, you need a water, whatever you need, baby. I'll get it for you.
And Sarah, that's also so nice. So I always have to try to remind myself when I'm driving in the car that I'm always like, be nice to Sarah, because sometimes I just get overwhelmed and stressed out. And Sarah's always so nice. Sarah's the nicest person I've ever met in my entire life. Nobody's as nice as Sarah. And
that's false, but thank you.
No, it's actually true. I told Grover today, I was like, Sarah's just so nice all the time, and I just need to tell myself to be nicer to Sarah. But Sarah's really good at photography, and I am really happy to have her and that nobody else has her. So I hope nobody finds her and steals her away.
Doesn't belong to anybody else.
I need to buy her a nice gift or something. Keep her on my side.
I hope that answers the question.
I need to bribe her.
But yeah, we have our own businesses because we do like our own shoots, like other than weddings. But we like to do our weddings together because I don't have to tell somebody. I don't have to like send them in 5 emails with like, this is what I need you to get. Don't forget to get these detail shots and make sure you don't forget these guys' shots. And like, don't just take like 2 photos of this.
I mean, it's because we've shot weddings together for the last 3 years. I feel like that's what a lot of people do with associate photographers. They kind of like bring them up with them and then they kind of teach them their style. But we kind of just morphed into a very similar style after several years of shooting together. So that's why it seems really like easy and cohesive with us.
And I think that's what's cool about you two working together, is your styles are so similar that when I look over some of the weddings you do, it's tough to tell who shot which pictures.
And I always bounce off of what Sarah does because I'm always like, Sarah's stuff's so good. I'm always like, this is what I want my stuff to look like too, which makes me feel like a better photographer.
Same these.
But yeah.
What about Carey's photography? Has anyone ever, thought to maybe include him in the second shooter pool?
I
thought
would.
about it.
Yeah, we discussed it. I actually took a ton of photography in high school.
Did you?
But photography was the course that all the slackers took, so I didn't really try that hard. But
Same here.
I shot with cameras for a while, but I know about photography, and I try to give Sarah my opinion whenever I can. But
no interest in joining her on the battlefield?
That would be so cool though. But I don't know. He could join me.
Here's the thing,
But I feel
though.
like husband wife that's too much.
We have to get a baby.
Oh, sorry, you're husband wife. Sorry, I don't know.
So with us, we have to get a babysitter, and that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing
you have children.
that it's like, okay, so I'm gonna second shoot, and then we have to then pay a babysitter. So it kind of just works out.
It's cheaper to pay a babysitter.
You think so?
Definitely.
Still, it
I
works.
would have Grover second shoot for me if Sarah wasn't available, if he was good at stuff.
We've discussed this before to see if it would work out, but I don't know. We can go back to the drawing board on it.
I think I'm fine.
Sarah would definitely have to teach me.
We'd have to like practice
Carey.
on some like
We don't need to replace
engagement
Miss Carey.
sessions or something.
Yeah.
I'd have to like practice and then like see his stuff. I'd be pretty critical.
I'd be frustrated and pissed at you.
Yeah, it would probably actually not work
Yeah, it
because
would
I would
not,
just
'cause-
boss him around a lot, and then he would be like, "Why do you have to be so mean?" And I'm
'Cause
like,
I'm
"Not
the
being
boss."
mean."
Or,
You guys are very different styles.
or he could end up becoming amazing, and then you could end up booking him out as an associate photographer.
Yeah. You're holding me back, actually, Sarah.
I mean, for real, we haven't
Let
really.
Carey out of his
Yeah.
cocoon. He's just
Yeah.
a butterfly waiting to fly.
All right. Well, I have like a 60 you can play around with.
Thank you, can I?
Please, can I play?
That's cute.
So, Megan and Sarah, on your guys' podcast, you talk a lot about doing styled shoots. And I know from listening that you guys do a lot with, it seems like is it called Styled Shoots Across America or something like that?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But then you guys also plan your own styled shoots. Styled shoots are something
Yes.
Dustin and I do not talk about very often. So
Okay.
I'm very curious to know, what is it that you two look for in a styled shoot? What's like the driving force behind like when you're putting one together or when you're deciding to like sign up for one with like Styled Shoots Across America? Like what draws you in? What gets you excited about that sort of thing?
This is a great question.
So, Styled Shoots Across America, if Heather is putting it together, it's phenomenal. It's
Always.
great. It's very detail oriented. I love the structure of it, and I love how like high end everything is. And we also make everything really high end in our own styled shoots. So, no detail goes untouched or unthought about, and everything is very very well thought out down to timelines and structures. It's not a shit show. So I know that a lot of styled shoots can be a shit show where people just show up and it's like nobody fucking knows what's going on.
Yep.
And it's just like, I don't even know. So ours are very structured. There's a time and a place for every single item and thing because we know what we want to capture. And if we're having other photographers come who are like paying for a seat or something at the styled shoot, we want them to get what we would also want to get. So we make sure that everybody has individual time with the models, that everything is very high end, very
Aesthetically pleasing.
aesthetically pleasing and very cohesive. And we look for ideas that have never been done before, new styles, new themes, new
Blog-worthy.
things, blog worthy, publishing worthy kind of styled shoots. And not just like your run of the mill kind of blog. Like we're trying to get in like the big national blogs. So that's what we go for.
So we definitely always try to pick vendor. When we do them, we always try to pick like really well-known vendors that are credible, vendors that have like really nice Instagram feeds and websites that take their job seriously and that kind of match our style. And the reason we go with Styled Shoots Across America is because once we did it once and twice, they always consistently followed through with always having kind of like the same florist and a lot of the same people they work with over and over again. And they're like well-known businesses that are always going to follow through and give you a really great product for photos. So, because we've been to like little people's, I mean, that's terrible. We've been to other styled shoots that just come and go, and they're like, oh, I found my stuff at like a thrift store, and I picked these flowers myself and thought this looked really good, and like, okay, I get that's cool and like what you're doing, but like, I want my shit to look real good. Like I just want it to look like high end. People are like, damn, that's an amazing floral installation.
Yeah, like a national blog isn't going to pick you up just because you like toss some flowers on a table
and you got a Michael's like plate charger for $3. Like
Wedding Day magazine will.
yeah, no, I just want stuff that looks really good because like that's the client that we're trying to reach. And it's also style shoots are a great way to practice what you want to do when you're not at a wedding and you want to practice poses and you don't have the time to like be like, okay, let me like look real quick at my phone. Let me save these poses. Let me save like what I want to try with a bride and groom, look at the bride with her bouquet, and like pose her in this way and turn her body and turn her arms and turn her hands and her head and her chin. And you can try these poses and see what works for you, see what you like with the light. And then you have more time. And then you can take what you've learned and put it into a wedding when you don't have so much time and be like, wow, I loved how I made the bride and groom interact. I loved saying this prompt to them. I love doing this with the flowers. I love this flat lay I took. Let me do this for this wedding. And that's why we
You're fucking on tonight.
Style.
You are.
You're on. That was so good.
Can we just back it up for like 2 seconds? And for those of us who are ignorant, you mentioned Shoots Across America or Style
Shoots Across America? Yeah.
What is that for those of us?
Whoa, Dustin, we're not giving our podcast over to just promoting this company. Are they paying
it's a
us
company?
money?
So it's a company?
Oh, yeah, it's a company.
Come on, Dustin.
They make money. They definitely make money.
Why would they do it if they didn't make money?
They definitely make money.
They sell tickets to their style shoot.
Yeah, they make money.
So it's they host style shoots across America.
I
Yeah.
don't think she makes a lot of money.
Then it could be a nonprofit. Who knows? We don't know.
I feel
but
like-
yeah, so this organization could be a nonprofit, could be a company, puts styled shoots on and then sells tickets to photographers to go to the styled shoots.
Gotcha.
You know how we talked ahead of time and you guys were like, you guys are going to email us tomorrow and say like, we can't use this segment. That's this segment right now, unless Style Shoots Across America pays us.
No, we're saying nice things.
We talk about her all the time.
They're great. We love Style Shoots Across America.
Aren't you guys going to the conference?
We're going.
coming up?
They're having a big conference. They have once a year. It's going to be great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Guess we were
Couple
invited.
weeks.
Steve.
When
Sorry.
and where is that?
I've never seen guys there.
I actually haven't seen
So
a man there.
sexist.
I know. I mean,
Guys
a little
never want
bit.
to come take
Come
pictures
on,
of pretty stuff.
Come
I don't
crash
know. They're
it.
never
You guys
there.
would be the center of attention.
You would be.
I am like one of the few male wedding photographers in my city. And so it's like all of the female wedding photographers are always getting together. And I'm always feeling super left out.
So you feel like the stay-at-home dad in a group of stay-at-home moms.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Hey, can I ask everyone a question? And I know, Steve and Dustin, you guys said that you guys aren't too into styled shoots.
Oh, I'm so into them.
Are you
Okay.
really? Are you being sarcastic?
I'm just a man.
Why don't you just go to them?
I said Dustin and I don't do a lot of styled shoots. I didn't say we're not into them.
But guys, I was reading an article the other day about this. Someone was complaining that like, if you're going to a styled shoot, you shouldn't be able to use that in your portfolio.
Fuck that.
So I was just wondering how you guys felt. And I've seen the articles like this before, like even a year or two ago. And it's just people complaining like, oh, you're not representing what your clients really could be getting. And
Ask
yada,
my
yada,
mom
yada.
to take the same picture.
All right, I just wanted to
And
see
let's
how
see what they
felt.
look like. No, it's really hard. I'm sorry to take over this conversation, but it does get frustrating because I try really hard to balance like real weddings and styled shoots
On your website?
on my Instagram, because I post to Instagram a lot more than my website, like every day to Instagram. So
Yeah, you
it's
should
really
be
hard
Megan McGee, the Instagram queen. You are all up on that.
I try every single day, twice a day.
It's crazy. I can't keep up.
I can't.
It's really hard.
Can't.
I just feel like it's the only thing I control in my life. but also,
Megan's cracking me up tonight.
I have no, like, I stay up late because I'm like, everybody's going to think I only post styled shoots. No, I really do get worried because you all think I'm only going to post styled shoots, but they're so much prettier than real weddings. Holy fuck. If people could just hire me and be like, what do you want me to do for my wedding for your photography? I'd be like, just fucking pick these colors for your flowers and put flowers here and pick a dress with sleeves to cover your back. And then I'd be like,
Holy smokes.
So, Megan, I guess my counterpoint to that then is why not just start creating like Megan crafted, curated elopements for the sophisticated bride or something like where you brand it.
That's a good
It's too
idea.
much work for Megan.
people are like, can I have a photographer that doesn't cost an arm and a leg? So I always have to sell my photography. So let me try to sell everything else on top of that. That's too much for me. If somebody could like sell it under my name and I would do all the stuff, like if Carey could like do everything else and then I just came in and like picked everything for the bride, That would be great.
That's my whole life.
I try to balance, but like,
Yeah.
He does everything, and then I just come in and take the pics.
that's what I want to do. But like when I do like styled, there's like something in between styled shoots, like when we travel a lot and we dress up our brides in like dresses and have floral. It's like in between a wedding and a styled shoot because I feel like I can control that more like a wedding, so it's more like authentic. So I post a lot of that on my Instagram. And I try to balance it out.
I'm sensing a lot of uncertainty in your voice right now. Like, do you feel like you're cheating when you're saying that?
No, I feel like I'm
just giving you a
so
hard
good
time.
at photography and people are so bad at having nice looking weddings.
Oh, snap.
I really do think that everything
Don't you
we
feel
do,
like it?
Yeah, everything we
See?
do in a styled shoot can be carried over to a wedding.
If someone had a great wedding.
If they gave
If you didn't have it in a fucking
if they
barn.
gave me the time to find
Rustic
the right
chic.
places, like I can do everything at a styled shoot that I can do at a wedding.
Absolutely.
And this year, the roster this year is all the
We have good
hottest and
places. We
great
do have hottest-
venues
yeah.
in all of Pittsburgh. So this year's venues that we have lined up are going to be the elite venues.
Yeah, give me a quarter of the time I have for a styled shoot and make it at the same exact venue with like some nice floral and I'll blow your brains out with how amazing it'll look. But
I like this, Megan. Where have you been?
Megan's lit tonight.
How many White Claws and shots of vodka has Megan had?
okay, I'll stop. It's fine.
No, don't stop. Drink more. You're in the zone.
Please unleash, Megan.
I just get real heated about styled shoots in my Instagram and people's weddings, which is everything.
So how
about
do you
the
walk?
podcast.
How do you walk that line when a bride reaches out and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I just saw that photo you posted on Instagram. I want to book you because of that."
And from that photo, and I'd be like, "This is what that photo was." And I'd be like, "Do you want this photo?" I'd be like, and I have told brides multiple times, you better have some. I say like, if anything else, like whatever you're gonna spend money on other than me, like have some gorgeous floral. I can make magic happen at like your shitty venue, and I don't say shitty venue. I say like, I understand that you're having like a darker venue. Like I understand there's like darker atmosphere, and then I say like, if you have some gorgeous floral, I say like if you give me extra time, like when we're making your timeline, why don't we just plan to have some extra time before the ceremony and after the ceremony? And then I can make magic happen with your beautiful bouquets and like the background and all that kind of stuff. You got to like talk them up to have those amazing moments. I definitely talk real to my brides. And I think that's what they like is because I say like, I've had a bride be like, do you think I should get fake floral or real floral? And I'm like, do you want an honest answer or do you want me to be nice? And she's like, I want an honest answer. And I say, honestly, you should have real floral. If you're going to have fake floral, I will send you like people that you need to hire because it's going to be a whole lot different look when I photograph it than if you have real floral. And I say, this is what you have to do. Like if you're getting married at a certain time of the day, if this is your ceremony, if this is your reception, like I try to reel their expectations in to give them something gorgeous. I know that they're paying money because if it was me, I would want my photographer to be like, this is the real life situation. I want to give you something amazing. But I also understand that you're getting married on December 28th and your ceremony's at 4:00.
And you insist on having a late mass and not doing
you're
a
not having a
first
first
look,
look.
and you want
Yeah.
pictures afterwards, and you're giving me 20 minutes, and
And they're always fine. And I'm not even lying. They're always
happens.
confident in what I have to say because I'm not lying. I'm not like, yeah, girl, you're getting married at 4 in December. Sure, it's fine. It's fine. Let's not even talk about it.
It's not fun.
No, it's not.
It's fine. I like paychecks in December. I got Christmas money I need.
No, I always tell them, and they love it because as a girl, I think as a girl myself, like if a girl tells me this is what life is like, I will listen to them.
Yeah, I think there's something to that.
They always listen to me.
From the customer's point of view, you being honest like that, they
Doesn't
tend to
apply
trust
to
you
me.
more.
What did you say? What did you just
Sorry.
say?
No, Megan's talking to you, Sarah. She asked you what you just
Said
said.
it doesn't apply to Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah will never listen to me. It's fine. It's fine.
All right, reel it in, guys.
I'm done. I'm really done. It's done. Go to the next topic. It's fine.
I'm loving it. I'm loving this.
I mean, yeah,
I'll reel
this
it
is
in.
why we asked you guys on. We just wanted you to go on rants about things you're passionate about and take over our show for a little bit. That way, Dustin and I, we don't have to do all the work this week.
We have a lot of editing. We have a lot of editing to get through. So
You don't edit anything. You send everything off to somebody else, and I take care of this podcast.
That sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
That does sound like a dream.
That's why I'm able to have this house. Because I have to clean
Dreams
it.
really do come true.
I know Carey handles all the back end for you guys' podcast and live video shows. So this question's largely for him. But if any listeners, because we've had some listeners recently express desire to start their own podcast, start their own video shows, because they feel like maybe Dustin and I's podcast isn't good enough for them and they could do better, I assume. So, Carey, I was wondering, since you're the one who takes care of everything for your guys' live video show / podcast, do you have any tips for anybody out there who's looking to start creating their own videos, their own podcasts, whatever it is they're looking to do? I know you guys just bought a bunch of new equipment and like you're looking to upgrade and stuff like that. So, you got some deets for me, man?
Sure. Yeah, I can give you some details. One, be prepared to spend some cash. I know when we first got started with a mixer, and we actually kind of splurged on the mics a little bit just because we wanted it to sound good. So we spent a lot last year, and then now that we're upgrading the studio and putting in cameras and things like that, it's going to cost a little bit more. But also watch YouTube tutorials on how to mix it, because I'm sure listening back to our first few episodes, they probably sounded like garbage. I actually didn't know what all the buttons on the mixer did. So I feel like just watching a bunch of YouTube videos on how to make the sound good, because it's tough. It's actually tough to mix a podcast.
Carey, I got to tell you, I've been doing video, audio, and photo for 13, 14 years now, and you will never know what all the buttons on the mixer do.
Oh, shit.
They're not labeled. They're just like a bunch of letters. They're not labeled on like what they actually do.
Oh.
Yeah, but as far as that's
Like starting a podcast.
Yeah.
What would you say?
So that's the technical side of things and kind of the boring side of things. I think that one of the toughest things is getting listeners.
Yeah.
And this year we're actually, one of the main reasons we're moving to video is so we can market it a little bit better. And we found a lot of our success is in Facebook. So we're probably going to shoot our episodes video and then cut them down and then just start boosting a bunch of posts to try to target photographers and wedding photographers in specific.
You guys heard it here first, straight from Carey Casile's mouth. Podcasting is dead. It's all about video. I don't know why you guys are still listening to this.
That was so great.
Carey, we actually don't have listeners yet. We are pre-listeners. So we're just recording a back library so that when, Armageddon comes, there's something for the aliens to document.
This sounds like
wedding
something
photography
Carey
is.
would do.
I am kind of nerdy.
Yeah, something, yeah.
I invited the three of you onto our podcast, and I was like, oh shit, I got to get this on iTunes fast so they think we're real. And that's how things happened.
So then you quickly got it on there.
So the last 3 days, Steven and I recorded almost 100 episodes worth of content just so we could look legit to you guys.
So I actually listen to you guys on your YouTube channel, and I know that's not where most people go for podcasts, but
That's where Carey goes.
Wait, are you the guy on our YouTube channel who keeps saying,
You're the
why are these
one listener?
episodes so long?
that's not me.
And I kept trying to listen to you guys through iTunes, but then my phone wouldn't do it because it's not.
Carey's got
an
parental
iPhone.
controls on your phone.
Well, no, we're Android.
Wouldn't surprise me actually, but I was like in the gym trying to listen to you guys. And I'm like, I couldn't get the podcast to work, and
Because
he's
you
like,
have a
'cause you don't
shitty
have a
phone.
He's like, your phone isn't going to listen to that, and I was like, well, how am I supposed to listen to them?
Yes,
Anchor.fm.
we actually have YouTube's premium. It's like $10 a month. But what's cool is you can download videos and
cool.
stuff. So that's how we pretty much just listen to stuff.
I just have to ask him, and then he figures.
Then I
out
put it
what
on
he
her
Figures
phone.
it out.
Chief technology officer.
Nice to know that the last year of me uploading every single episode to YouTube has finally paid off. We now know who the two listeners are who keep coming back.
Yeah, I kept saying, Steve, you really just need to let the YouTube thing go, man. I don't think anyone's listening on there. I've been proven wrong tonight, guys.
1, 2.
We'll keep it going, Steve,
No.
for the next 30
Thank
years.
you.
Just for that.
Thank you.
We like YouTube.
You guys are on Android. You got to check out, what is it? Castbox, Castro, Pocket Cast. There's a bunch of really good podcasting apps for Android. A lot of people use Podcast Addict as well.
I think the better question is, why are you guys on Android?
I'm nerdy, and I made Sarah buy her phone because it was cheap, but she just overruled me and bought an iPhone.
Did you? Because it was a fucking secret. And you wouldn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. The cat's out of the bag.
What phone you bought? You're like, I bought a phone, but I can't tell you till it comes. And I was like, it better be a fucking iPhone because.
No, Carey just bought me a phone,
Tired
and
of
I was
those
like, what
green
the
text
fuck
messages.
is this phone? I was like, it's the same phone I have. I'm not dealing with your same phone.
Well, let's start from the
and
beginning
then I
of the
was
story.
like, I'm going to get a fucking iPhone, okay?
So the beginning of the story is I buy 2 Moto X4s, and I'm excited because they have a better camera than what we have. I take mine out of the box. I'm like, hey, Sarah, look, our new phones are here. And I didn't take hers out of the box yet, and I was showing her how cool it was. She was like, I hate this. I'm sending mine back.
I was like, it's the same phone. There's nothing different about it. I was like, I don't want, this is a phone that's like 3 years newer than what we have, and it's the same exact thing.
And then I
So-
cowered away from her.
And he was like, do whatever you want, baby. Go ahead. Order an iPhone.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I got you the wrong phone. I'm so sorry. I was so beta.
Speaking of phones and photography, on your guys' last episode 12 of your first season, you guys were talking about the shoot and share contest, which is just wrapped up. And I believe Carey said he was going to enter photos for the first time ever in the shoot and share contest.
Did you?
Did that happen,
did.
Carey?
Did you win anything?
I did. And 2 of my photos actually made it to the second round, but a lot of them got knocked out in the first round. Some of them actually were so poor that it was like I was within like 100 from the bottom. So if there was like 40,100 photos, I was like 40,070. But some of them made it to the second round, which I was so shocked by. But they were all like joke stuff. Like there was a picture of a groom and then a giant pineapple like superimposed into the photo. And just like silly stuff. One of them, I took a photo of a children's session and put a Gaussian blur over it so bad that the whole photo was blurry.
So your thing was just to troll the shoot and share contest this year.
Yeah, that was it.
And my pictures were so bad, but the first round, I hate to be mean, but like I was going through the first round and I was like, mine are kind of in par with some of these.
There you go.
Damn, Carey, damn.
So we're actually going to go over, you can definitely ask Sarah and Megan about their results, but we're going to talk about that in our next
I
episode.
haven't
I'm
heard
super
Megan's
excited.
result.
And
I took a screenshot,
I
so
know
we'll talk
Sarah's
about
going to
it.
be pissed. So every
Why?
time she,
You're pissed.
every time she,
salty.
every time she
I don't even know
complains,
why.
I'm going to throw up a picture of Salt Bay. That's
I
Salt
wanna
Bay
know.
mean because she's salty.
Sorry, I love you.
I'm salty.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I love
No,
you.
I
So
know.
do you guys want them to
got
tell you their
really
results?
Fucking far.
No, you got to save it. This is a teaser.
We'll
now
save
people
it.
are going to have
Okay.
to listen to your show if they want to get those good results. I can't remember if we talked about this pre-show or during show, but Sarah and Carey, you guys actually met while working at Disney World, correct?
That is correct. So after college, we both did the Disney World internship program, and if you've never heard of it, it's insane. It's kind of like second college. It's like second freshman year, and they give you a job, they give you an apartment, they give you transportation, and it's just a blast. And then when you're not working, you're just like playing in the theme parks. And Sarah moved to Orlando from Chicago. I moved from Pittsburgh. And we met at our laundromat in between our apartments.
No, but you tell your side of the story, Sarah.
It was love at first sight.
No, Sarah loved you before that.
Ooh, wait, what?
So I moved down to Disney with my boyfriend of like 2 years, and I saw Carey playing tennis with his roommate, and I had
Poorly,
no idea.
horrible
I had
tennis.
no idea who he was, but for some reason, like we parked our car in front of the tennis court, and I saw this really hot guy playing tennis. And I looked at Carey and I was like, holy shit.
Wait, Carey wasn't the hot guy. It was his roommate who he was playing with.
No, it was Carey. And then I looked at my boyfriend and I was like, I think we need to break up.
Oh, snap. Like you were with him, you look over, see a hot guy playing tennis, and you just look back at your boyfriend and you're like, it's over.
Yeah. And I broke up with him right there in the car. And then I had to walk back, and the complexes were kind of long, and he wouldn't drive me back to my apartment. And so I was a little bit mad about that, but I should have like walked up and said hi to Carey or something.
You should ask to play.
Because Carey didn't even know, like he didn't even know this.
I didn't even
that
know he
happened.
just changed your life forever.
Just walk right up to Carey and be like, literally, I just broke up with my boyfriend for you. No pressure.
Because you made me wet that quick.
This is destiny.
So
But I wash my clothes on Thursdays.
So by fate, my roommate ended up dating his roommate, and they were at the laundromat, which was right in front of our apartment. And she was like, hey, come meet this guy. And then it was the guy from the tennis court. And I worked at Casey's Corner. And if anybody knows what Casey's Corner is, they have like these baseball uniforms.
But like
And-
old-timey baseball uniforms.
Horrible. And I was dressed in that. So then all I did was like tip my hat and run back in my apartment because I was too afraid to talk to him. But then he knew that I lived there and then invited me over. And then the next day we were dating.
Yeah, that fast.
Tip of the hat. That's all it takes.
Tip of the hat. Break up with your boyfriend in the car, tip of the hat. It's all over.
I wish I had game like Sarah. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Or like Carey.
Yeah.
Must have been one heck of a backstroke.
I don't think I can ever be man meat like Carey. I mean, no one's going to break up with their boyfriend over me.
I'm only going to call you man
Carey, I
mate
have
from
to
now on.
ask, do you avoid tennis courts now when driving with your wife?
That's so
You know
good.
what? I avoid playing tennis. I don't want to break up any other relationships.
I would. I mean, I would be fearful if I were you. If you were out playing tennis with the kids or something, and you see a car pull up, you're like, "Holy shit! I've got to hide. I might break that marriage up."
I would just rock it.
Yeah, just break up
not your
marriages
fault.
left and right.
Bring him in. It's
I
fine.
So that, that's our story.
So Dustin is actually going to Disney World in a few weeks. Do you guys got any hot tips for him?
No, not a few weeks. I'm going in literally half a week.
Oh my gosh.
How many days are you going for?
2, maybe 3. We're gonna
During
be
spring break?
we're gonna be there for the entire week. My wife has a conference nearby for work, and so we're kind of double dipping because her work is paying for her flight and our hotel for the conference. And so we thought, while we're there and being our kids will be under the age of costing us money, they will be free. So we'd only have to pay for the 2 of us. So we're just like going in with zero expectations of actually enjoying it and hoping to just get the most out of it. And then also get like a better idea so that when we go again, when they're older, that perhaps we'll have a better idea of what the heck we're in store for.
Are you guys going to rent a car?
No.
Okay. Then I would say, given the ages of your children, I would say Epcot and the Magic Kingdom are the places that you should spend the most time.
We are doing Hollywood Studios the first day
Ouch.
because the only thing my daughter's really into is like the Disney Junior characters,
Oh, they have a lot of those.
which is, from what I understand, primarily at Hollywood Studios. Plus, I'm a bit of a Star Wars nerd, so.
Okay, then
That sounds like
Hollywood
a good
Studios is right for you.
And then the second night, we're staying at the Polynesian
Ooh.
so that we can be on the monorail. And because my daughter likes Moana, and I figured that would be the closest thing to having like a luau. And since I didn't get to go to Hawaii last year, I figured it's the closest thing for me.
Yeah, we did the luau show actually one time.
It's so good.
There's like
it's
fire
very good.
twirlers and stuff. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That'll be really great. Honestly, Disney with the kids' ages that your kids are is going to be amazing. You're going to see like magic happening in their eyes. And you're going to love it. And you're going in with no expectations. So your expectations are going to be met and exceeded. So it's going to be really, really fun.
I would say a big
You're going to
piece-
walk a lot.
A big piece of advice, don't go in with the expectation of seeing everything because you'll
Yeah.
just be let down because
You need to take nap times and break times.
Yeah.
And there's going to be meltdowns and things. But it's going to be
Mainly
so
by me.
much fun.
Mainly by me.
We went last year and it was pretty crazy, going with 3 small children, but it was still so fun. So
I
still really enjoyed our trip.
I like nerd out over like parenting accessories, like parenting gear, if you will, for the photographers out there. So I just bought
Is that what you would call the
Craigslist.
coolest cooler? Parenting gear?
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
I want to know what's the coolest cooler.
It's something
Oh, my
Dustin's
goodness.
never received. he paid
it
for
a
it on
Kickstarter?
Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay, I heard about that and it failed.
yeah. I still have faith, Carey, that I will one day receive this mythical cooler that can blend margaritas.
You could receive it right now. Just buy it on Amazon.
So, Sarah, do you have any tips for being a photographer in Disney World? Because you took your camera, didn't you? You don't remember if you took your camera or not? You had to have taken your camera.
We took this little Sony.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Well, the little Sony. What's this little Sony you got?
It's a tiny baby mirrorless camera.
Is it the A6000?
The A6300.
Oh, the 6300?
Yeah.
I've used that for video a few times. Dustin, do you have the 6300 or the 6500?
6500. I don't mess around with the 6300. I mean, come on.
What the fuck?
Screw you, Dustin. I rented the 6300 to shoot a few wedding videos with a long time ago. I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
It was cute. I felt like it was, you can put it in your pocket or your bag, and I don't feel like I have to carry it in a special case. It seems really durable. And it took really nice videos and really nice pics for what it was. I bought a 50 millimeter 1.4 lens for it. So like we had the decent lens for the camera. So it took good enough pics for what we were doing down there. I wasn't trying to like make these
Amazing
like
blogs or
amazing
anything, yeah.
pics. I was just trying to document a little bit nicer than my cell phone. So
yeah.
it worked really good. I felt
Well,
like it was really like
That's because
portable.
you don't have an iPhone. If you had an iPhone,
Yeah, if you had an iPhone, you wouldn't need that.
Takes the place of the
You can use
Sony.
that portrait mode and you're good to go, girl.
Yeah.
yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was a good investment. I was also, it inspired me to try to take more pictures of my family on a day-to-day basis because I don't like taking out my work camera every single day. And then I still didn't really take it out that much. So
She needs an iPhone.
She needs an iPhone.
I
think
wish
you
I would
just
have taken
answered
it
my
out more.
question on
but-
whether or not I should bring a camera.
Yeah, it would have definitely been way harder
same
to bring my camera, my gear, because I feel like when I touch my camera, I'm in work mode. So I'm trying to get my kids to be a certain way and putting more expectations on them to try to capture this like amazing moment because I have my amazing gear. And it's just too stressful. It's just too much anxiety and it's too much on them. It's not fair. So if I have that, I'm in a different mode and a different like headspace than if I'm just like trying to get a blurry picture. I don't even care. It's just the moment, you know? So it was good for that.
I was at Disney
Yeah.
a few months ago and I didn't bring a professional camera. I just brought my iPhone. Perfectly fine.
Great.
No memories lost. Got everything I
That's
wanted.
perfect.
Or gained because you lost your phone at Disney.
You lost your phone?
Not this time, no. I was at
Okay.
Disney a few years ago with my mom, and I lost a phone while I was there, and it popped up in the lost and found. So
Wow, well, you got
That's
it
nice.
back. That's good.
I
That's
went
a
to
good
the
ending.
lost and found, and there was like 200 phones in there. It was ridiculous.
Fuck.
I've never been to a place where anybody would bring a phone and be like, hey, this was lost. I think someone might be looking for it. And at Disney, it was like, apparently everyone there is just super nice. And all the workers are like, we found valuable items and we don't steal them. We just turn them into lost and found.
Happiest place on earth, guys.
I do have to say that Disney is incredible at building employee loyalty. And however they do it, instilling these values into their cast members that like you really fucking care about your job. Like it is like your whole life and you really, really care about it. And you just want what's best for the guests and you love your job no matter what job you do. So they're really, really good at creating that brand loyalty.
Nice.
Do you feel like any of that's carried over into your business?
A little bit. I think a lot of the customer service things that they teach you, guest service things that they teach you, I have tried to carry over into my business. When I moved away from Disney, I realized like people don't care about their jobs
Absolutely not.
like they do in Disney. People really care. You could have the worst job in Disney and you actually care about going every day. It's somehow they do that to you. And so I try to do that. The guest always matters, you know? So I try to put all of my clients first and all of their needs and wants. And I always want to try to meet their expectations and exceed them.
And we took the Disney values and kind of developed Sarah's own customer service
Mantra,
yeah.
or values, yeah.
Do you remember it?
Nope. It's like
I would always have to if she ever has a customer
I don't know
service
them.
issue, I always
Carey
have to
does,
tell it back to her. But what's good is you don't have that many customer service issues
yeah.
because
Piece you learn a lot of things in the first few years, and then you
Tweak it.
Got it.
every time she gets a mad customer, I always say, "Let's learn from this. How can we stop this from happening in the future?"
been
And it
a long
works.
time.
Yeah.
Burning their house down. That's how I do it. What else did you want to talk about, Steve? I could talk about Disney all night.
I know.
Yeah. So there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. This might be a little bit too personal for you, for I guess Sarah and Carey to share mostly. But
I'll share
when
for
I
them.
was when I was reaching out to you guys about doing this podcast, I mentioned in your guys' last few podcasts, Sarah sounded sick because you guys said Sarah was sick and she had some weird throat thing going on. And Sarah responded back to say that she had been feeling under the weather. And I was wondering, like, you guys took a pretty long break then from your last episode to when your next one will be out. Is that because of what you got sick with?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so.
It was.
It was in there. We were pretty busy too, but yeah, that was in there. And we're open to talking about this. It's
Yeah, I
Sarah's
mean,
open.
I'm alive, so
You're still
it's
here.
really, I'm still here. No, I had a pulmonary embolism. So
Just another Thursday.
yeah, I probably had it through the entire fall wedding season.
Yeah, she absolutely did.
I got sick on September 9th.
Was Megan nice to you when you were shooting with her?
Sometimes.
No. I was like, what the fuck,
No.
Sarah? No,
I had a
I was like,
fever.
ugh.
I had a fever of 100 or more for probably how many weddings do we have? I would say if we had
She was
20
sick
weddings,
so
I had a
much.
fever for 18 weddings. So
Wow.
it was hard, but I had to make it work. So I was just sick for September, October, November, December. So I was sick for like 4 straight months.
And how did it end? I think it was December. You guys were on your last trip to
New Orleans.
You were thinking about going to the emergency room. What was that story? I can't really remember.
So December 9th was my last wedding of the season. Then we went to New Orleans like right after that. And then the airport, I just couldn't breathe. Like throughout the whole year, like I couldn't breathe. And it was getting worse and it was getting worse. I couldn't walk upstairs. I couldn't like keep up on shoots. And I remember even our shoot in New Orleans, like I couldn't do what they were doing. So I had to like stay back because I couldn't walk. In the airport, I was pulling all my bags and I couldn't do it. And I was like, this is where I die. I actually thought I was
This is the
dying in the
end.
airport because I couldn't breathe so bad. And then I started like feeling really, really sick. And I was like, I think I'm going to have to go to the emergency room. If I throw up here, I'm going to go. I'm not going to get on this flight. But the next morning I like emailed my doctor after we came home. And she was like, you need to go to the emergency room right now. And that's not when they found the pulmonary embolism.
They thought it was your appendix.
So I had appendicitis, which is probably what was causing all of the fevers, because I think that my appendix was trying to fight off some sort of infection, which could have been the pulmonary embolism or the cancer or whatever. So I had an appendectomy, and then I still couldn't breathe. So I called my doctor back. I was like, I still can't breathe.
Let's try something else. It wasn't my
And
appendix.
she was like, go back to the emergency room right now. I'm getting you a CT scan. So they just took me straight back. And that's when they found like the blood clots. So I was at like working on 10% of lung function.
Oh, wow.
So I like 10%. And so it was like pretty bad. My lung surgeon and my oncologist, hematologist said that it's like the worst blood clots they've ever seen in their careers, filling my lungs. So I probably shouldn't be alive, but somehow I'm alive and here.
and then they put Sarah on blood thinners,
Blood
and
thinners.
the blood clots in her lungs have cleared up. What did the last scan say?
Yeah, so I still have blood clots in my lungs, but my body, so the blood thinners don't eat away at the clots. Your body has to kind of like
break them down.
by themselves. But I'm pretty much
Getting better,
have,
getting
like,
better.
yeah, like nope,
Just take some
not
time.
as much.
And
it's
she's
good.
in better shape with her lungs too. She can work out.
breathe,
She
I
can
can
go up
keep
steps.
up.
She
Yeah.
looks a lot better.
It's good. So all is well. It was just really crazy because the last episodes we were like, oh, we'll be back unless someone dies.
Yeah, that was like what we said
And then
before we knew.
And then like a week later, holy shit, I should be dead. So I'm really, really blessed. And
That's what
it's
you
given
get
me
for
a
pissing
new
off the
perspective.
podcast gods.
Right? No, I feel way better. I'm treating my body way better. I'm being way healthier, and I'm just really lucky. And I feel like everything I live a little bit more extreme now, you know, because I want to experience everything a little bit more. So there's that.
Cool.
Yeah.
And
Thanks for asking.
how has
Congrats.
this changed, like, the way you guys do, like, your podcast, the way you guys run your businesses, since your businesses are so intertwined? Like, does it put any sort of, like, undue stress on any of that stuff, or is it just like another day?
No, it did. So I was put on 6 weeks of strict bed rest because it caused pulmonary hypertension in my heart. So I had a leak in my heart and a hole in my heart, and my heart couldn't, I basically couldn't walk. The doctor was like, you're not even allowed to walk. So I was on like a strict, like 4 weeks bed rest, and then like 2 more weeks of like, just you're only allowed to like walk around your house. So that put a lot of stress on my business.
Because she couldn't edit. She had
Everything.
stuff to edit.
Well, it's just, I had like stuff to edit, but you know, when you're stuck in bed for like 6 weeks, you
She
kind of
refused to edit.
you get in like a funk, you know. I was like in a real big like mental space funk.
and I
There's
was
a lot to deal with.
and I was being nice to her too. I could have really rode her about not editing.
Yeah. And then he had the kids every day, you know, 24 hours a day, because I wasn't allowed to pick anybody up. You know, it was pretty intense. So
Yeah.
I would say those 6 weeks were probably like the hardest 6 weeks of anything, because it did put me a little bit back. I had all these early 2019 goals, you know, in your down season, and you really want to hit all of those goals. And they kind of had to take a back burner to my health. So that was stressful.
It was a stressful time. I can second that.
Yeah, it was.
Do you miss out on any shoots or anything because of this?
You cancel any trips?
I think Sarah was lucky because the only blessing in disguise is Sarah had it during her off season.
Yeah.
Sarah,
it was all of
happened
January.
right after.
Yeah. It was right in the mid-December and all of January. So I think that I got off of bed rest like beginning of February. So everything that I had scheduled, I was able to reschedule. And so I could take off of shooting.
Because there was no big weddings or anything, and we
Yeah.
didn't have any trips planned, so she got to have a little bit more rest than she would have had if it was in like summer or fall.
Yeah. Or even starting now. Like,
Yeah, this would
like
have been too much.
being even in the springtime of
Yeah.
6 weeks of being in bed, it would be torture. So I was really lucky. It was like all of
I
January.
mean, I'm sure they would have caught it in September had you had gone, but we just didn't know that's what it was. You didn't know that's what it was. Nobody knew.
Yeah. I got misdiagnosed.
We thought it was
4
like
times.
asthma. Like
Well,
we
and
thought
then
it was like
pneumonia.
asthma, pneumonia.
bronchitis, like 3 different times.
And I honestly thought it was just because like she has kids, so she gets like sick all the time. And I was like, you're just like a sick mom because like you have kids. I was like, you're always
Bringing
just full
home
of
the germs.
I really thought it was just because you were like full of germs and like your kids are full of germs. And I was like, because parents and kids are literally always sick. Always
That's
sick.
true.
That's true.
Every time I babysit, I get sneezed on like 17 times. And as I come home and I'm like, what the fuck? So like, I really thought it was just because you had like children. And I was like, she's just, you know, mom colds and children's. She's just bronchitis and pneumonia, like walking pneumonia. And then then we found out it was more serious than that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just a little bit.
yeah, a lot.
But it's good. It's so good. It was really retrospective, and I'm thankful.
Good.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're healthier again and getting better every day.
And
I
super
assume.
positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real. And I'm also not coughing on like every single podcast throughout the whole season. Oh, which was so annoying to go back and listen to. I'm like, oh, my awful cough. It was horrible, but it's good.
Steve, one more, and then you want to
No, I think we've reminded
More?
everybody of their mortality by reminding them of Sarah's mortality now. So I think
What's the next subject?
we should push on to some more fun stuff now, right?
Sure.
Do you guys want to do
Love it.
some random questions from people from the internet?
Yeah,
I love that.
love it.
Let's do some Q&A.
But Steve. An anonymous listener wrote to us to ask, some former clients of mine just got divorced. How long do I have to wait before I ask one of them out? Should I DM?
What the fuck? This is what? I like to be like, do I take their photos off my website?
One of them? Like they just swing both ways? Just like you're just, all right, I want both of you.
Should I DM first and ask for his or her number, or is it okay to just text since I still have her number in my honey books?
I'm
Question
so
mark.
fucking done. Is this a guy or a girl? I need to know.
It's anonymous.
Yeah, we don't know.
It's a
I feel
guy.
like it's gonna be okay. Is it a guy? Because I feel differently if it's a guy or a girl.
It's
Oh.
a guy, and he's asking about a girl. Dustin tried to hide it.
Okay.
He's tried to obfuscate this, but I've been saving this one for the right special
right.
guest to come on.
Little bit of juice.
This
You
is-
want a little bit
okay.
of juice behind it.
If it's a guy asking a girl, she's gonna be like, "Fuck you, no." Like,
Are you
that's so-
sure?
Yes, because
I don't know.
It
9
all
times out of
depends.
10,
I love being asked
What
out.
if the guy's a 10? If the guy's a 10, it doesn't matter what they say, how
doesn't
creepy
matter.
it is.
It's weird. It's so
shallow
weird.
hell.
It's so weird if you're like the guy photographer and you're asking a girl out. Is that she just
I don't
got
think so.
divorced? No, absolutely. I'm gonna say like 90%. That's so fucking weird.
But 10%, so normal.
I know if she's weird like that, because like Sarah's the 10%. Like Sarah's the only person that'd be like, yeah, this is really cool. But like me and all my other friends would be like, fucking what a weirdo. It's gonna be like, man, this would be cool. Might be a fun time.
Here's one thing: is he shouldn't be asking her out in a DM. It should be.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many different factors that make it fucking
What's
weird.
he gonna do?
What would you say is like, hey, a bunch of
Ask if he can deliver the wedding album. Like, whoa, how do you?
Yeah, I know. Like,
Can I give you your wedding album plus PS want to go bang or something?
No.
Like I don't know what to say.
Guys,
like what the
here's how you ask out a girl: is hey, a bunch of my friends and I are going out someplace. Why
that's a
didn't you
good-
go too?
Yeah. But you know how many
I
guys
don't think so. That's kind of like a
That's
like
nice.
a sissy way.
No,
No,
that's
then
not,
you can meet in person and just be like, I love you.
Oh my God. I feel like anytime a guys have it's so much harder for a guy to ask a girl out because it's always weird. It's because guys don't know how to do it. They only just send like their dick pics or they DM them.
What? Well, whoa, time out. We have a guy and a girl on the podcast right now who are married. So at some point in time, there had to be some asking out. Carey, did you just send Sarah a dick pic, or how'd that all happen again?
Can
I just say
they're the
I just
outliers?
got my
They're the outliers.
first dick
They don't
pic,
count.
like a week ago.
From Carey?
So back to his question was, I actually asked my roommate to ask your roommate
Yeah, it was
to
very-
have you come
yeah.
over. And you said
It was very
yes.
like sissy.
And then you showed up.
That's the safest way. You have to be safe about it because everybody's a creep these days. You have to do it in like a nonchalant
I think
way.
you should ask her out. I don't know.
No, I don't.
I like the
I do
bold
not.
move. I like.
Wait, can we go back? So Carey asked his roommate to deliver a dick pic to Sarah's roommate that Sarah's roommate would deliver to Sarah?
On a Polaroid. And I told my roommate not to peek at it.
Don't peek. It's in an envelope.
I sealed it with candle wax so I would know if anyone opened it.
Was it printed?
They've been married for 10 years, Dustin. It was a film picture that he had to get printed at Walmart, I assume.
It was
Black
an 8
and
by
white.
10.
I made it in the dark room at high school.
No, I assume he had it taken at like one of those old timey like Western booths at Disney.
Oh my god!
up there.
And
There were
instead of
props.
the gun, it was the dick. You know how they hold the. Anyway, sorry. Can't say that word.
He's gonna do that. You should do that. You should find somebody that does that in Pittsburgh, Carey, and redo that and give it to
Don't.
Sarah. You should definitely do that.
Like one of those wanted posters.
Yeah.
The Western ones where you dress up. Yeah.
But back to the answer. So I'm going to vote for ask them to go out in a group of friends. Sarah says
Just ask them.
just be
Go.
upfront and just ask for that.
And I'm gonna
No,
say,
you're not being like, hey, I want to stick my dick in your vagina. You're just saying like, hey, hey, do you want to go out sometime? Can I
Nope,
take you out
it's
to
not
dinner?
gonna work.
No, why?
And you know what? When
That's like a bold alpha move.
Nobody- girls don't like that.
No, it's in our evolutionary makeup to want an alpha.
not in 2019.
Male. Yes,
But you know what's sad though is after he sends that and she opens it and he sees it and then she never writes back. He's a beta then. That's a blow to his
If
ego.
it was like a normal guy, but if it's your wedding photographer, it's gonna be weird. So you have to sidestep
It's
everything
sexy.
else. You're not the right people to ask. You don't count. You guys
This is
do
what
not count.
I do want to say that this year in our podcast, I wanted to add a relationship column. So this is a great way to test
Because
it out.
you guys
'Cause
are
we all have like a
outliers.
different thought about relationships.
The worst. Just ask
What do
them,
you
it's fine.
guys think?
What are your What are your opinions?
I think what you need
Honestly.
to do is you need to contact the florist. on the
Stop.
wedding.
We're done.
Have the florist invite the DJ over to have a party. The DJ then contacts the officiant to see if there's anyone he's married lately that perhaps didn't go well, that he might want to bring to this, mixer, let's call it. And then you just happen to be there. It's like fate unraveled in this
I like it.
styled shoot-esque star-crossed lovers scenario.
That is.
I like it.
Yeah.
You could throw a divorcee party.
Yeah. there
For
you go.
the person?
Yeah. Just everybody who's divorced just goes to the same party.
That's fun.
And then there's only one person who shows up, and it was kind of awkward.
Oh,
but
God.
then
Divorced.
just hit it off. It's crazy that more of those wedding photographers clients didn't get divorced and want to come to this party. Jeez.
Oh my God.
So crazy. This is a great question.
Do you guys have clients that have gotten divorced?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yep.
I really don't know.
Somebody
I
told me
have no
yesterday
idea.
that the current divorce rate is nearing 50%.
Well, yeah, that's always been that.
I have a hard time believing that's true, but that's scary.
Well, you guys live in the Midwest, so I think it's probably lower in the Midwest.
Yeah. We're more wholesome.
Where it is real wholesome. It is. Like it is kind of wholesome.
So back to the question, how long do you have to wait before you ask one of these divorce past
1
clients
year.
out? I think, maybe just 2 months, maybe 3 months.
Really?
Give them a little time to grieve the past relationship before you really get into it. Should the person DM
But
first to
wanna
ask for a number?
You don't want to miss your window.
Dustin, you're absolutely right. Show up at her house with the wedding album you've already printed off and
Yeah,
be like,
I
look,
agree.
With a lighter.
I'm here. No lighter. You just show up and you're like, oh, I didn't even know you were divorced. Oh, I'm so
Boom.
sorry. Look at all these pictures of how happy you were. You're really sad now? Come here for a hug. Do you want to go out for ice cream right now?
Do you want to go
Now
burn
you're
this in your backyard together? Yeah. I mean, it sounds like a plan.
I mean, that's super creepy, but yeah, whatever.
I would say no time limit. Just go for it. You only live once.
You do, you guys.
YOLO.
I think there should be a time limit.
Wait, what was Megan's time limit?
But for my strategy, you're just hanging out as friends. I'm here for you.
You guys, can you see who the alpha is in the relationship?
Me.
Megan.
Megan. It's always Megan. Fuck you guys. And none of your situations would ever work, Carey and Sarah.
In my situation, the guy's a 10, so it's easy. Anything he does works.
Nobody's a 10. Like, you're fine.
Guys can be 10s.
You got to remember, Carey, he is a wedding photographer.
Yeah, he's got a hard body, Dustin.
Then you know he has that attitude about him too that you have to overcome. So like,
Real emphasis on the cum there, Megan.
Maybe he has a really, really big lens on his
Penis?
camera.
okay, because that's what if you send her a dick pic over DMs? Like, I don't understand. It's fine.
Hey,
You
does
guys-
the size of your dick make you go up in the number that you are?
I don't
No.
think so.
Like if Like,
don't
if
make
you're
you go-
only a 7, but you have, you're
No,
well
but
endowed, do you go up to like a 9?
No, but it'll definitely make you go down if you have a micropene. So it'll not make you go up, but it will make you go down.
I think it should make you go up.
Nope.
But as
I don't think it changes at all.
as a photographer, if you send a dick pic, do you get discredited because they assume, oh, he's got a macro lens or he's got Photoshop? It just immediately all credibility goes out the window.
If you
I
send
think
a
a little
dick pic,
bit.
you automatically are blocked. No girl ever in her life wants a dick pic.
If you are a photographer and you send a dick pic, there better be
Nobody wants a
bokeh in
dick
the
pic.
background.
I will absolutely.
What'd you say?
There better be bokeh in the background.
So much bokeh.
I'm done.
Speaking of dick pics, Sarah, you said you were just sent a dick pic for the first time like a week ago.
Oh God.
That was a long time ago, but I've been thinking about it. Was it just like a rando on Instagram or sometimes? So I have access to my wife's Instagram and Twitter, and every once in a while she gets sent dick pics on those platforms. So I'm the one who sees those. Yay for me. And I get to report them to Instagram and Twitter.
That's crazy. I feel bad for girls on the internet. That stinks.
Yeah.
Megan, do you get dick pics on your Instagram?
No, I don't get dick pics on my Instagram.
I don't either.
But my best friend gets dick pics, and nobody fucking wants. No, I've never seen a girl that's like, "Oh, baby, look at this dick pic. Can I have your number? Like, when can we go out?" Nobody has ever been sent a dick pic and has been like, "Wow."
I think you're
What
rolling
is
out a small category of people who might be like, oh, hi.
No, I really
I
think
don't know.
maybe like
I think
0.1%.
some people would be like, hi.
I guarantee if we had a vote now, no girl has been like, "Oh my God, do you like to watch The Office on Netflix? Do you want to go grab some food later?" No girl wants dick pics. I would never, ever be like, "Yeah, cool. You probably sound like an awesome guy."
And I don't understand sending dick pics to people because it's like, it's sexual assault every time you send a dick pic to somebody. And like, you're like, I'm going to sexually assault all these people. It's something that could
is.
wind
I
me
know,
up in
it's so
jail
stupid.
for the hopes that 1 out of every 1,000 I send a dick pic to says yes. Like, I want that.
It's like flashing someone in public.
Exactly
like, it's the same thing.
thing. It's so dumb.
So no one would just reply, "Oh, I'm eating a corn dog too."
Oh yeah, I would absolutely. Now that like I've never had the opportunity to be on Tinder or be like single, but I would want to reply with funny shit. You would want to reply with funny shit.
Wouldn't that be so funny if Megan just completely changes her tune and is like, yeah, maybe I do want dick pics?
No, but
I'm going to start a Tinder account real quick.
for
Did you guys
funsies.
see the photographer who only takes dick pics?
Yes.
Need to get back on our back catalog. That's like one of our most popular episodes that
Oh, that's a niche.
caused Steve to get so many dick pics sent to him.
We made jokes about it. And I personally have never been sent a dick pic. That's only my wife's accounts that get that. People in our...
So he says.
We have the best listeners in the world. I'm just going to say that right now. And they go to the grocery store and they take pictures of eggplants, or if they're in the UK, aubergines. And they take pictures of those and then DM them to me on Instagram. And it makes me laugh every time.
That's amazing.
It would.
Can I tell
great.
you? Can I tell you guys a funny prank?
Yes.
So my friends are pretty insane, and one of them was at work one day, and all of a sudden just started getting 10, 20, 30 dick pics, and he had no reason why. And then he finds out that our other friend made a Plenty of Fish account and said that he was like put a woman up and said he was DTF and gave him his phone number that he wanted all these dick pics. And so that guy ended up getting a lot of dick pics.
Isn't Plenty of Fish like a Christian site or something too?
No.
No?
You're thinking of Christian Mingle.
Yeah.
Plenty of Fish was like the older.
Free. It's like a free.
It's like the free dating
freematch.com. It's like a
like
isn't
Hinge.
like a
It's like free like Hinge.
It was like the first Tinder, but on the internet.
yeah, exactly. It was like in your browser, not an app.
Okay. I'm way out of it. I mean, I met my wife the old-fashioned way at a furry conference, just like most people, and
Oh my God.
Pittsburgh actually has the biggest furry convention.
We sure do.
How are you guys
do.
not the photographers for that?
It would be great.
Sarah could probably get into that.
I could.
Guaranteed. No lie. She'd be like, "I love dick pics. Let me be your fucking photographer." And they'd be like, "Okay."
They're like, okay, but how furry do you like those dick pics?
Do all
Send-
the freaky furry
Send me your
things.
furry dicks.
when did Sarah become somebody who loves dick pics?
Sarah's like, okay, I'm positive.
Because I'm full of surprises.
Sarah's pro dick pics. Pro choice.
I'm the outlier in every situation.
Every situation, Sarah and Carey are the outliers.
So Robert from a random Facebook group says, I always buy bottles of wine as a client gift when couples book me. I just booked a couple and they aren't 21 yet. Can I still give them wine?
No, what the fuck? What a dumb question. Are you dumb?
Chill. What if these are listeners of them? Wait, are these listeners of you guys?
No, this is a
I'm so
random
sorry.
Facebook group. This is all good.
Okay. All right, never mind, Megan. You can.
It's fine.
Megan could just shit all over them.
Why don't you just go to fucking Marshalls and buy them like a his and hers mug and put them like with a frame? Like,
Or just
why?
get
So
the-
I'll just tell you guys what I gave to a couple of mine because I like to give welcome gifts. So I have a magazine, like my bridal guide. So I give them that. I give them his and hers mugs. Everything is gold and white. I give them a ring holder and then I give them a coupon book. And it's not like a weird coupon book, it's sexual. It's like give a bear hug, give a foot
Like a
rub,
couple's coupon
watch
book.
a
Not-
movie
Cute
together.
one.
Not like a coupon book to like the movies and stuff.
Right. It's like a coupon book to like
A
spend
relationship
time
coupon
with
book,
each
a
other.
cutie.
I used to give the 5 love languages. I know that's kind of like a little religious, but we believe in the 5 love languages, and I think a lot of people do that aren't religious. And then I include like little, what are they called?
Candies.
They're candies or chocolate candies that are truffles.
She just made this. She made a motion with her hands. And I was like, I think it's candies.
It's chocolate truffles.
Yeah.
Lindor?
Yeah, the Lindor truffles and I don't know, something else like a pen with like a diamond on top that looks like a ring.
There's
So
literally endless.
that's my welcome gift.
And it's 50 pounds.
It's heavy because of the mugs, but it's cute and it doesn't include any alcohol.
Yeah, you don't need to send them alcohol.
Well, you could give them like the grape juice wine thing that looks like it's a bottle of wine. Or,
Okay.
you know what, they're under 21. How about you send them a letter
Why don't you
talking
send
them out of getting
condoms
married?
so they don't get pregnant right away.
That's
like, I don't
smart,
know.
Carey.
Mary,
They should be getting married.
21.
we are in Indiana. That's our target demo.
I know.
yeah, that's
how
right.
Carey plucked me up
Forgot
at the
about
prime
that
age of
life.
18.
Whoa.
And I was 23.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, I'm 18.
Sweet
All of my other friends
Lord.
are married.
Oh, God.
Wait, I thought this Disney thing was like a thing where you like came from college, like a college graduate.
Yeah, I graduated high school a year early.
I graduated college a year late. No, I'm kidding. I was actually older for my grade, so I just graduated and then moved down to Orlando as soon as I graduated.
And I moved to Florida like a week after I turned 18, which was the cutoff date for the program.
And they were like, let's just get married right away.
What
God
age did we get
forbid.
married at? 20? I was 26, 27.
We broke up for a few years. So
But then we got back together.
Yeah.
And we're in love.
I'm going to vom.
that was finger guns for all of the listeners who didn't see.
Jeez, Megan, how do you put up with this every week?
I know. It's like perfect stuff for me. This is why I'm not married or have kids yet.
You're like, if I can make it through a podcast with Sarah and Carey, I can make it through a whole wedding day.
No,
Jeez.
I feel like everybody should be friends with married people and people with kids before they make those choices.
Because you'll not get married or have kids.
Oh my God, it's great. You can live vicariously. Like, if I need kids, I just be like, oh my gosh, just go over your house, guys.
That's called the fun ant.
Yeah, it's great. It's good stuff. And then I get to sleep in the next day.
Shut up.
So, I mean, I hear what Robert's saying in the question, and I guess I don't really understand. Jen and I, as a wedding gift to every single couple that we book, we just send them over some meth, you know? We like to get them real wet, real fast.
He said it so seriously, like, I don't understand why this is a big deal.
Everyone can take meth. It doesn't matter what the age.
Yeah, that's ageless. It's fine.
Like, you guys came down real hard on this about the legality and stuff, and I just don't get it. Like, you know?
But you know what? What
Yeah.
if you do send them a bottle of wine and then they
live
get
with,
an
like, their fucking
underage?
mom. Like, what if they live with, like, there's so many people that still, like, live with their parents that are, like, getting married.
What if they
You
get
think
an
their
underage
mom's going to
because of
narc out the
bottle?
wedding photographer?
What if even worse than that is I don't send alcohol to my clients because I'm worried that they're recovering alcoholics. Because I know so many people that are
Actually, the gift that I just gave, they were like, "Oh, he's in recovery."
Yeah, so I don't send alcohol anymore because
I didn't give alcohol. I just gave the gift.
He was a recovering Chocoholics Anonymous. Is that what it was? And you're like, "Oh, those Lindor truffles. What did I do?"
Because I used to send tiny little bottles of champagne with like a ribbon, but then I was like, what if they like that's a big deal.
That's like sending me a slice of pizza. Don't do it.
So I get worried because I don't want to offend anybody.
Send you a slice of pizza.
You should send people like pot brownies, Sarah.
Sarah, do you want pizza? Blink twice if you want pizza.
Sarah always wants pizza.
I always want pizza.
Sarah's blinking, everyone. Sarah's blinking. Quick, send her pizza.
She blinked 10 times. That's 5 slices.
Someone had 3 boxes of pizza at my gym the other day, and I wanted to wring their neck. Like, how can you sit there and eat pizza that's like this cheese is stretching from the bottom of the
Looks
pizza?
like it's from a commercial.
And like I'm sitting there trying to lift my weights, and you're just like eating this pizza right in front of me.
What were you at, like a Planet Fitness?
No, she was just like a nice gym.
At a nice gym. And that's like that literally is like bringing an open bar to an AA meeting.
Maybe that just makes people, maybe that's like a secret way they make people work harder.
That's what
But
Planet
pissing
Fitness
him
does.
off.
They're like hidden secret shoppers, but like secret pizza eaters. And they just are like,
Yeah, but Planet Fitness, you actually
run
get to
faster,
eat the pizza.
fatties.
Well, like Planet Fitness, because my parents belong to Planet Fitness. My mom is like guilty of like just going for the free bagels.
Because
why would they put bagels in a gym?
They have bagel Mondays and like pizza Tuesdays.
Yeah,
at,
they have like bagels
Planet Fitness.
Mondays, pizza Tuesdays, or whatever. My parents are like, "Oh, did you guys want to go to the gym with us?" And I'm like, you guys aren't dressed for the gym. Oh, we're just going for the pizza. And I'm like, you're really getting the most out of this gym membership, guys.
Yep.
Dustin, did you really just come on the podcast to put your parents on blast?
I was explaining to them at dinner tonight what a podcast was.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would cry before we got like 20 minutes into it, and it would be an ordeal.
And my mom was trying to ask me, is a podcast like that thing your friend does where it's like a multi-level marketing scam?
Oh my
where
fucking
she tries to
God.
sell us makeup?
Exactly like that.
And I was like,
Exactly.
that's exactly what a podcast is, Mom.
Yes,
Multi-level
Mom.
marketing.
I'm selling Mary Kay on the internet. Thank you. But like having pizza at a gym is like it's like a dentist giving like a bag of lollipops
It's a
after you're
business,
cleaning.
and they want money, and that brings people in.
It's called securing your client base.
Yep.
Sarah.
They bring them in.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Sarah, your dentist didn't give you lollipops after you got a cleaning?
some of them.
Yeah.
But I don't want pizza at my gym.
You don't, but the people that are going to sign up for Planet Fitness or only want to pay $10 a month because they're not real sure about going to the gym.
Sorry, I'm trying to be legit.
It keeps them coming because
I guess
they get that free stuff. It's business. It's smart business. It's creative business.
How can we transpose that to photography?
Pizza Tuesdays.
Yeah. If I brought all of my brides free pizza every time I saw them, I'm sure they would love me.
When a client signs up
free
to be a
something.
bride with you, she's also enrolled in a dating app.
How about this? Pizza at the wedding shows.
Oh my God, just a stack of hot and readies.
Yeah.
Because we're the only people that have water
Oh
bottles.
my God, this actually is genius.
Because hot and readies are $5.
We've been trying to avoid letting our children eat Little Caesars pizza, and then
Little
the
Caesars is
school
the
let
best.
my son eat it the other day, and he came home and told me he had the greatest pizza he's ever had in his entire life.
Then you better
And it was
damn
called
buy him
Hot
some
and Ready.
Little
I
Caesars.
gave Megan the first Hot and
Yeah,
Ready she ever had,
she
and
gave
I was
me the
like, "You
first Hot
gotta
and Ready."
taste this."
Hot
shit.
and Ready sounds like a sex act.
She gave me the first one.
Cardi B.
And then you know what they did? As soon as she bought me it, they fucking closed Little Caesars by us.
I know.
I haven't had it since then.
I'd take a Hot and Ready right now.
Me too. $5? How much do you think it costs
you
to
both
open
are
a Hot and
perverts.
Ready?
They couldn't have named that any better.
Dustin, I think we got time for one more question, and then we want to give you guys a
Do we?
chance to plug your Megan's Snapchat,
Awesome.
your guys' Instagrams, Carey's not on social media, right? right?
Yeah, he kind of is.
I have a Twitter. I haven't
You
posted
don't
in a
have to
few
do
years.
your Twitter. You can do your Facebook.
I feel like we're ready to be
Snap.
best friends.
What?
You and Carey, or our podcast and your podcast?
What was that too, Sarah?
That was to Dustin and Steve.
Yeah, Sarah wasn't listening to me at all.
I was just thinking that thought. I just let that out.
She's drunk.
So, Dustin, do you want to pick one last question? And don't just always pick the next one like you do. You can
Pick a
read
good
through them
one.
all.
Pick the
You can
best
find
one.
the best one, the one you think is just the best for Sarah, Megan, and Carey to answer.
Shelly from a random Facebook group asked,
I knew you'd pick this one, you son of a bitch.
I think the bride stole my lipstick. Stole it. Not accidentally picked it up. What do? I want it fucking back.
Is it
Cry
is it a
face
guest?
emoji.
It's the photographer.
You're going to make a
Photographer.
cry face emoji about your fucking lipstick?
What if it's expensive?
How expensive is it going to be?
I don't know how
sorry.
expensive is lipstick.
Yeah, you tell us.
Like maybe $50?
That's why we felt like we couldn't weigh in on this question.
Okay, let me weigh
lipstick
in.
might be $50. Is it like fucking Chanel? Like, I don't know.
What if the photographer only charges like $500 or $1,000 a wedding?
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
That's-
for
and it's
five-
a $50 lipstick? Come
then
on.
You're
No.
making poor
Listen.
life choices.
If you're a photographer,
Megan, calm down. You're just crapping all over photographer.
if you're the average photographer,
Making
you're not wearing Chanel lipstick. I'm
yeah, fuck
sorry.
that.
So your lipstick is probably like $30,
I know.
maybe.
That
Yeah.
still sounds
You know,
super
it's-
expensive to me,
that's so
a
expensive.
normal
So
dude.
expensive.
I invest in
Let's
expensive
pretend
makeup.
it's like Burt's
I do
Bees.
not. Yeah, let's pretend it's like Wet and Wild, like
$2 makeup
Yeah,
at
that's what
Walmart.
I
No,
wear.
it's probably not $2 lipstick if she's upset about it. So it's probably like $30, maybe like Clinique. Fucking
Okay.
But
Clinique
I think we
lipstick.
can all agree it's still pretty wet and wild when she puts it on, right?
So it's probably like mid-range lipstick, which is fine. Whatever. But who fucking cares? They just paid you over $1,000. Let it go.
How did-
Let it
okay.
go? It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Also, just chalk it up. I lose shit all the time.
Can I
I
ask you-
lose so much stuff that like I'm not gonna blame anybody
It's your own
if I
damn
lose
fault.
something. Yeah.
It's your own
Like,
damn fault.
Also, it's like lipstick.
Put it in your pocket.
It's not
or
worth
you-
a bad review, and it's not worth like asking someone about
If
it.
I leave my camera bag down somewhere, which I do often, and somebody steals something, that's fucking on me. If I didn't put it somewhere, it's on me. Like,
That's a good point.
Megan
It's
wouldn't
on
care
me.
about lipstick though.
oh my god, if I
What bougie bitch is caring about lipstick?
I'm pretty sure I've lost. Yeah, like I would be like, I mean,
Reel
if
it
you care that
in.
much, maybe like message her and be like, hey, did you happen to find a lipstick? And then she doesn't reply, you'd be like, I fucked up. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You fucked up.
Can I ask you guys a question? How long would a tube of lipstick last? Does
Years.
it last really?
Yeah, probably a while.
Years. It'll last a long
And it's
time.
$30 and she's pissed?
I know.
Yeah. It's no biggie.
So it's that new Kendall Jenner, Kylie Minogue, whatever that family's name is. It's their new wet and ready lipstick, lip smackers.
Wet and ready. That's a good, like hot and ready, wet
Ready
and ready.
for what?
You should be a spokesman for that company, Steve.
That's so great.
Great. This is why I
That
said
is
we should be best
good.
friends.
and somebody just stole it, and you're just like, wow, my wet and ready, it's all gone.
My brain has never thought like that. Like if somebody was like, oh, I think my bride stole my like flash, that'd be like a whole different conversation.
It wouldn't even though. Like I still
Depends if it's a
would
young
be
Newell
like,
flash or not. If it's young Newell, you just throw it away, right?
It'd be like way different.
If it was a young Newell, I'd be like, fuck it.
yeah. But if
I'll
I someone
just
like
get a new
Canon
one.
Flash, I'd be like, maybe this is like worth like maybe asking her if she maybe stole somebody. But also, if I set it fucking down, it's my own damn fault. If I set it on like the DJ table and somebody snatched it, my
I actually
stupidity.
just went back
Just-
to a venue
Just
where.
grab a gift off the table on your way out.
Yeah, that's what I would.
Eye for an eye.
Oh shit! My brain doesn't even go there. That's some,
Why?
That's some
Just grab it.
heavy hitting stuff. That's
It's
good.
like, bitch can take my $30. I now have her knife set.
Fuck you.
$30 for $150.
That's right. Trade
If
up.
If this happened to Sarah and Sarah came to me with this problem, I probably would say what Megan says and just like, it's your fault.
Carey, that's cold. That's cold as hell to do to your wife.
No, he would just be like, what else is new? You guys, I have a memory problem. So like it just happens all the time.
Sarah messes up so much. I actually have a song that I sing to her when she messes up.
That's true.
Oh, can we
How
hear
does
the
it go,
song?
Sarah?
I can't be mad at you.
That's it.
Is this a song Sarah sings or a song Carey sings? Because I feel like we need Carey's vocals if it's his song.
It goes like this. I can never get mad at you. It's as soon as
Is
she
there any
messes
more
up.
words?
That's all.
I expected more from karaoke.
But then sometimes I throw in another verse if she messes up really bad, and it's like, even when you mess things up.
Even if it's all your fault.
She messed up about a week or two ago really bad, and she walked in the door and said, sing the song. And I said, no, I'm mad.
What was it about?
The keys.
When you drove when I was with you.
So Megan picked
I
Sarah
heard you
up.
on the phone.
Megan picked Sarah up to go somewhere, and I was taking the kids to school. And I always tell Sarah, hang the car keys up whenever you're not using them. And sure enough, Sarah had the car keys in her pocket.
2 sets of car keys.
And then the spare key was also with Sarah. So Sarah took 2 car keys, and I couldn't take her children
And we
to
were
school.
far. We were like 45 minutes into
An
our drive
hour.
away.
And
Yeah.
Sarah gets home and says, sing the song. And I said, no, I'm actually mad.
I was in the car and you answered it and you're like, hey, baby. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot the keys. And I was like, oh, he's so fucking pissed.
And
My
that was
wife
that
is
day.
notorious for leaving the house with all 4 sets of our car keys.
Yep.
It's easy to do. I'm glad that I hear I have a soul sister.
I don't understand this. Why doesn't Carey keep his keys in his pocket
With him at all
the
times.
time?
Well, we have 1 car. And
But you have 2 sets of car keys
So-
and 2 people.
But one's an emergency key.
That's
Why don't
actually an
you just
easy
keep them
explanation.
on you?
Carey doesn't like to drive. So
What?
I drive like all the time.
That's bogus.
So
That
I
is so
have, like-
bogus. You're just going to come on a podcast and lie? I drive more than you.
Only because you're the stay-home dad right now.
I drive. You can't come on a podcast and say Carey doesn't drive.
Out of all the things I thought would cause a fight between Sarah and Carey on this episode, this is not the one I thought would be it, you know?
Okay, really quickly, why don't you just keep the sets of car keys on you? Like, why don't you keep a key in your wallet and you keep a key in your
I'm
purse?
not putting a key in my pocket or
One
wallet all the
single
time.
key?
It's a car key. It's a giant car key.
Why don't you just keep it with you at all times?
Carey, if it makes you feel any better, we have 2 cars with 2 sets of keys for each vehicle. And somehow my wife will leave with all 4 sets of keys.
That's worse.
I'm coming to visit. We're going to hang out.
Carey Casile phone number. He shouldn't have gave that to me. All right. I'm just setting up a Plenty of Fish account that says Carey Casile's down DTF right now. Is that cool?
No.
Yes.
No, the dick pics won't bother me. I've seen a male genitalia before.
We've all seen it. I don't know why people get mad.
But have you seen Plenty of Fishes?
I haven't seen what Plenty of Fish has to offer. I wouldn't get mad still.
Carey's like, whatever, it's fine.
He only gets mad if it's
It's all right. Some of our listeners were kind enough to set me up on a lot of Republican pro email lists.
that's a funny prank.
That is funny.
Dustin gets a lot of NRA and Republican emails now.
Oh, God, that's so funny. I want to do that to somebody now.
Holy shit.
So for some reason, there's a mug that I'm supposed to claim because they email me daily trying to get that build a wall mug. And I keep on deleting that email. So I feel bad.
So many things that I could say right now.
I would like to hear them all go quick.
No, she doesn't get political. I'll put my foot down there.
Yeah, let's don't do that right now. Maybe later.
You know, we've had a lot of fun here tonight, guys. And before we go, though, I want to make sure our listeners know where they can find the 3 of you.
Who's going first?
Yeah, I'll take this.
Carey's going to take
to
the
start with.
lead
So-
on how to find our...
Carey's on Plenty of Fish. Is Carey Casile is DTF. That's his username, and he wants
69.
all the dick pics.
This is what they think about me, guys.
So our
Worth it.
first episode of season 2 is going to be on March 27th, and it's a Wednesday. And I think we said 9 o'clock we're doing our podcast.
Okay.
And then we're doing it every 2 weeks. You can tune in on Facebook and just follow our page, I Don't Give an F Stop podcast. And we're going to do it every 2 weeks, live on Facebook, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And then I think you guys can plug your stuff.
Okay, guys, this is Megan, and
Megan McGee, the Snapchat queen,
Yeah.
I believe.
my Snapchat is Megan McG123. Please follow me. And my
Wow, that's a rhyme.
Wait, is it
Yeah, I
Megan
know, it's easy.
McG123, please follow me, or is it Megan McG123?
it's Megan McG123.
Got it.
That was good clarification.
And then my Instagram is Megan McG Photo. Because photography didn't fit, so it's just Megan McG Photo.
And
Megan
1, 2,
McGreevy
and
Photo.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3 just didn't quite make sense.
No, yeah, that's fine. And then my website is meganmcgreevy.com.
I'm sorry, what was that? I thought I heard meganmcgreevy.squarespace.com.
Oh,
It's not that anymore. It hasn't been that. It hasn't been that in a while.
slash
so good.
Squarespace / free accounts.
Little amateur.
I paid more. It's meganmcgreevy.com now. It's fine.
Please visit me at my GeoCities, geocities.com
I was cheap for
Oh, GeoCities.
/
if only. I used to have a
Slash.
GeoCities long time
Megan
ago.
McGreevy at hotmail.com for all the email.
Oh, guys, one more plug for our podcast.
Just
I didn't
Google
say
it.
how to listen to us. We're on iTunes and Spreaker, and you have to, since we have a hyphen in the name and an apostrophe, you just kind of have to be specific. I don't with an apostrophe, and then give an F stop, and that has a hyphen in it.
On what?
I just said it on iTunes and Spreaker. Megan's drunk.
Just to be clear, it's not on YouTube.
Well, actually, I'm going to start putting these on YouTube for season 2 because we're going to do videos. Well, hopefully, we'll get 1 or 2 listeners.
I'd be happy with 2.
Yeah. All right,
Carey
so-
has a lot more work in all of this than I ever do. So you can find my photography at sarah.casile.weddings. That's on Instagram. And you can find my website at sarahcasile.com.
What's
And
your
my Snapchat is Sarah Casile, at Sarah Casile. It's just at Sarah Casile. It's not like Sarah Casile.
Do
at
the
Sarah
youth
Casile. It's
even
just-
use Snapchat anymore? Is this a thing?
Yes, every single person
I use it
uses
more than
Snapchat.
anything else.
Don't
All
try
the
to,
youngins use
Don't try
Snap.
to text me because I can only Snapchat you.
Yeah. She only snaps
You
me.
can text Sarah.
She only snap messages. Also, I just looked up I Don't Give an F Stop with none of the things in it, and it comes right up.
On
so-
iTunes?
Yeah.
It doesn't on Spreaker.
Okay. On
I don't have iTunes.
Because most people are going to use iTunes because that's what people use.
I don't have an
Not
iPhone.
Only
Spreaker.
40% of the population
Girls-
has an iPhone.
Oh, facts.
I bet you 90% use fucking iTunes and not Spreaker. So
People with Android don't use iTunes.
pretty sure.
If you guys look at your stats, I'm sure it'll be like most other podcasts where 90% of your listeners will be through Apple Podcasts / iTunes.
Guaranteed.
Because iTunes is on like Windows PCs and a bunch of other things.
Yeah, it's
too.
and everything. It's iTunes.
I was serious about the best friends part.
100% serious.
Sarah's drunk right now, and she's like at the person at the bar that like you haven't seen in a while, and they're like, "We should hang out more."
We should
No,
make
but I'm serious.
plans.
I don't say things
Yeah.
that I'm not serious about. I'm always honest. You guys were great.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you.
I'm listening to you guys go at it.
I
fine.
apologize for making fun of your veganism.
No, I think we all said our plugs.
Yeah. Well, they already said
But
it's
I
over.
didn't hear their plugs.
I was just
They- I don't-
apologizing.
maybe
to
they
Carey.
don't. Maybe they put a plug on the end because it's not live.
No, it's done. We're done now.
We put a plug in the end, you know.
They have
the
it
old-
recorded already.
The old butt plug in the end there. Alrighty,
all
guys.
right.
Thank you.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you for inviting us. This was the best.
Thanks for staying up so late. Hope
No
you have a good
problem.
night.
Good night, Sarah. Good night,
Night,
Carey. Good
guys.
night, Megan. Good night, Dustin.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night. Bye. See you. Bye,
Bye.
Dustin.
Good night, John Boy. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wedding Photo Hangover podcast with Dustin and Steve, and this week with Sarah, Carey, and Megan from the I Don't Give an F Stop podcast. If you want to help us out, jump on iTunes or Stitcher and leave us a 5-star review. Only the finest for us. If you want to connect, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Wedding Photo Hangover or on Twitter at WedPickHangover. Dustin is on Instagram at Dustin_McKibben. And Steven is at Steven Van Elk. If you want to get involved with the awesome community of listeners, join the Wedding Hangover Facebook group. If you really want to warm our hearts out, head on over to anchor.fm/weddingphotohangover and you can sign up to support us for as little as 99 cents a month. It's extremely helpful to us and to the making of this podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time your head is pounding, your limbs feel like dead weight, and your entire being aches for the sweet embrace of death. That's right, next Sunday after you shoot another wedding.
Dun,
Dustin,
dun, dun.
think that went pretty good?
Oh,
Got that one in the books?
the goodest.
The goodest. Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Thanks, buddy. Dustin, we gotta get to bed though. We got more interviews, we got more guests, we got more stuff to do.
More stuff, more people to please, photos to take, things to be.
Yeah. So
all right, onward, upward, outward. Let's
peace
go.
out and moving onward, moving upward, moving outward. The Dustin McKibben story. Bye.
Bye.
Well, kind of like a lubricant for your butthole.
So
I just shivered, guys.
Sorry, but like I'm from the Midwest and they do all these like reenactment things. Did you guys ever go to those?
Oh hell no.
LARPing?
Like
No,
like
LARPing isn't reenactments.
no, like reenacting like
LARPing
wars
World War
and things?
II. Okay, that's what it is.
Wedding Photo Hangover was edited this week by Steve Van Elk of Bespoke Tone. Go to Bespoke Tone for all of your photo, video, and audio editing needs.
Woo-wee.